Uh, I was at a tech conference in Germany, which was extremely boring, and everybody was standing drinking beers after there was some kind of party going on, but it was not a very nice party. And all of a sudden, a girl and two dancers jumped up on a small stage, like that part of the stage, and she started singing like there was no tomorrow. Nobody cared, except me and a couple of other guys. They were like, whoa, this is great. So we're like 4 guys dancing, and the rest of them eating peanuts and drinking beer. That was Lady Gaga, which was really interesting. And what I made a mental note is learn from her, because she doesn't matter how few people like her. If nobody cared about what she was doing, she was there to do her absolutely best, and she took it away like it was Wimbledon, and it was fantastic. And I wasn't surprised when I saw her evolve later on, and I won't be surprised when Isa takes it away. Now, you are going to experience something very, very special now, and we've said this for last purposefully. We've seen people all day that have created great companies. They're powering their sort of their days following visions, but that's nothing in compared to the visions that we're going to hear now. We're going to leave planet Earth. We're going to leave this hemisphere, and we're going to look upon the space that is all around us and what can be created when the sky is no longer the limit. And who better to do that than the CEO of Spaceport, and somebody who's going to be in charge of sending a lot of people and things out into space. So please, take it away, Karin.
Thank you so much, and thank you to the organizers for inviting me today. And what a wonderful day it has been, huh? I think we should give a big hand of applause to all the speakers that have been here. I am so inspired, and I'm so inspired by all of you being here today as well. So my name is Karin Nilsdotter. I am a CEO and partner of Spaceport Sweden, and we are about to create a whole new industry in Sweden. And we're at the dawn actually of a commercial human spaceflight industry. So I'm going to take you on a journey into space and back down on Earth, because I think we are standing at a revolutionary time. We're going to see transformation and new opportunities that we've never seen before. We have been talking about the importance of being adaptable to change and actually grab opportunities when we have them. And I'm going to argue actually that it's no longer enough to be adaptable to change. We need to lead that change. And with this industry now being developed, Sweden has an opportunity to actually lead the way. Michael Collins, do you know who he was? He was the 3rd man on the Apollo 11 mission. One of them was Neil Armstrong, the second one was Buzz Aldrin, and then we had Michael Collins. And Michael Collins, he talks about how we as a human species, that we're curious, that it's in our human nature to continue to explore. And that's what we're doing, right? So throughout my talk today, I'd like you to think about something. What would you do if you knew that you could not fail? If you would go exploring and do what you would love to do and knew that you could not fail, what would you do? Have we got a deal? Great. So I'm going to show you what is about to happen, and who better to talk about that than Sir Richard Branson and Virgin Galactic, which is one of the companies that are now developing radical new technology.
The exploration of space will go ahead, and it is one of the great adventures of all time. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Many years ago, the great British explorer George Mallory on Mount Everest was asked why did he want to climb it. He said because it is there. Well, space is there, and we're going to climb it.
Okay, Neil, we can see you coming down the ladder now. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Virgin Galactic is on track to become the world's first commercial space line. And if you've ever dreamt of joining the incredible group of pioneering astronauts, your opportunity has arrived. During your adventure, you will accelerate to a breathtaking 3.5 times the speed of sound. Then, in the silent tranquility of space, you will experience weightlessness and views of our beautiful planet that will change your perception of life.
One of my passions or reason for wanting to fly in space is based on what these guys that do it say. And they talk about it for the rest of their lives, about wow, that was life-changing.
The rocket motor ride is a minute and a half or so, and it's exhilarating. It's like nothing else you've ever done. When that motor does shut down, you get this instant calm of weightlessness. And everything you feel in your body is the same way. It's wow.
Our first Virgin Galactic astronauts are booking their own place in history as pioneers of a new space age, and for them, the journey has already started. I've had some incredible adventures in my lifetime, and space is sure to be the greatest one of all. I am going, and I hope you will be joining me.
Who's coming with me? Oh, yay! So why is this important? Why is going into space important? Does anyone know how many people that have been into space so far? Have we got a guess? Cecilia? We have just over 540 people that have been into space. Cosmonauts, astronauts, taikonauts. And why is that? Well, space has always been a platform for innovation and exploration. Through space exploration, we're able to actually meet the challenges that we face on Earth. And space has been in the domain of nations. We've seen big space programs, and we've seen the big space race between USA and Russia. But what is happening now is actually that space is becoming privatized. Entrepreneurs and private companies are investing a lot of money in actually developing new infrastructure. And the challenge has been that it's been very, very expensive and very difficult to go into space. So the mission has been to develop reusable vehicles so we can fly to lower cost and increase access to space. One of the guys who actually flew on an X-15, which was a test plane that was used in the 1960s, was Neil Armstrong. He came half the way to space. Does anyone know where space starts? There is an international nomination saying it's around 100 kilometers. So Neil Armstrong, he came half the way. However, they did succeed with this plane. Neil Armstrong, I guess, got his revenge, you know, as he stepped on first man on the moon. But someone who would refuse to accept that it was not possible for us humans not trained as astronauts going to space was Peter Diamandis. He knocked on the door to NASA, the American Space Agency, and he said, I'm a doctor, I'm an engineer. When can I go to space and practice my skills? I said, oh, you know, in time. And NASA at the time were criticized because they were doing a lot of development, but we weren't seeing innovation. So he was reading a book at the time about Charles Lindbergh. And what did he do? He flew over the Atlantic. And he did that to win a prize. It was called the Ortec Prize. So he thought, I'm going to create a competition. And that competition is going to encourage radical innovation. In 1996, he started what is today X Prize. And in 2004, the first competition was held in California at Mojave Air and Spaceport. There were 8 teams from all over the world competing, private initiatives. And the challenge was to develop a new type of vehicle that could take the equivalence of 3 people into space twice in 2 weeks. The team that won this challenge were these 2 guys, Burt Rutan and Sir Richard Branson. They teamed up and they created Virgin Galactic. So what are we going to explore and experience now? Of course, space has always been a fascination of people. Already in the 1960s, Thomas Cook created what they call the Moon Register, and they actually had tens of thousands of people register wanting to go to the moon. Well, actually, now it's about to happen. People that have been into space, astronauts and cosmonauts and the taikonauts, they talk about the overview effect. How, when seeing Earth from space, it just transforms you. You realize we live on one planet, there are no borders, we're all the same race and we face the same problem. What we're also seeing, though, is the success of private companies already. Elon Musk, he founded PayPal and also Tesla cars. In 2004, he founded SpaceX. He realized there is a need and there's a gap in the market, and of course there's also a business opportunity. NASA, the American Space Agency, also realized that we can't afford to keep sending the shuttle into space, not having a reusable and affordable vehicle, enabling us also to explore further. So they put on the venture cap hat and they invited private companies to actually come and bid for some funding. SpaceX was one of them. In 2012, they flew their first commercial mission. And since then, they've been to the International Space Station 3 times, supplying cargo with a mission to send their first astronauts in 2 years' time. What we're also seeing is this, space habitats being developed. Bigelow Aerospace, based in Las Vegas, are actually building an inflatable module. One is circulating in orbit right now as a test module. NASA has ordered one to create an addition to the International Space Station. This is not science fiction any longer. This is happening already now. This is also an image of a creation of a station on the moon. And one of the missions is, of course, to send people to Mars. And another one is to mine asteroids. And this will happen in our lifetime. This is what the industry looks like now. This is not all of the companies. You know, this is a multi-million, billion even industry. There are a lot of initiatives all over the world, primarily so far in the US, but we have the opportunity in Sweden to actually create a big system of innovation and be part of this. What about the markets then? A lot of people think, oh, it's only for the wealthy to go and have a good time in space. Yeah, there's a lot of people, very smart people, have been very successful. They have a bit of money on their account, and yes, they bought a ticket. But they are helping actually fund the industry. They are the pioneers. And what we're seeing is that this is a platform for research. It's a platform to develop new products and services. It's a platform for education. And that's something that we really want to capitalize upon. And they say that every $1 that's invested in space, you get 20-fold back. And again, space is that platform to help us develop new products and new services and new experiences, new business models. Only our imagination is going to put the limit to this. And this is something that we have the opportunity to actually capitalize upon in Sweden. And we want to establish this industry and become a world-leading spaceport where you can experience space travel, but also innovate and educate. We've actually had a space industry in Sweden for the past 60 years. And Kiruna has been an aerospace site since 1957. What you see in this image, the red buildings here, that's Kiruna Airport. That's been there in over 52 years. It's already a test site. And what the advantages is here, that we have access to a lot of unpopulated areas over which it's safe to fly. So it's already a test site for manned and unmanned vehicles. And what they test is vehicles in an Arctic climate. We have the Swedish Institute of Space Physics that was established in 1957. They now have experiments circulating 4 planets of our solar system. We have a space high school. We've got students from all over Europe and Sweden coming up to this high school. And we have Luleå University of Technology hosting 3 different space masters. And of course, we also have S-Range Space Center, which was founded in the 1960s by the then European Space Agency, recognizing this site above the Arctic Circle, 200 kilometers within the Arctic Circle, having access to the unpopulated areas, having the infrastructure, and now having become a world-known site. And combining this with, of course, the research and the natural space phenomena that we have, being the Northern Light. I think it's going to be just an amazing experience to fly through one day. And again, being located above the Arctic Circle gives us an advantage that we have the unpopulated area, but we also have less airline traffic than any other location in Europe. So this is an airline map where you see the density of the traffic. Combining this with world and unique experiences like the Ice Hotel or the Sami culture or the national parks that we have, we think we can provide a complete space destination, offering space travelers, but also their families or people who are curious and want to know more about space and our heritage. So Spaceport Sweden was actually an initiative already in 2006. After the X Prize competition took place in 2004, this was the first pioneering initiative outside of the US. The vision was set early. We want to become a world-leading spaceport, and we want to be Europe's gateway to space. And as a result, it was actually inaugurated by Maud Olofsson, our then Minister for Enterprise, together with Virgin Galactic. So a lot of the space operators have already recognized the expertise and the heritage that we have, and our passion and capability to take the next leap into the future. And our mission at Spaceport Sweden is to supply services to a space operator. So we have the airport, we have Esrange Space Center, we have the tourism industry, we have the research arena and academia. So we want to establish a center for excellence where operators want to come and forward-leaning companies want to be part of. So this is our sort of vision of the future. We want to develop spaceflight training. We want to give you, if you're curious or if you're a future astronaut, if you're a researcher going on a mission, we want to give you the opportunity to actually come and train, practice for your mission that you're going on, but also learn more about space. We want to give you as an operator the opportunity to come and test your vehicle in our area and provide the services in doing so. And of course, we want to be part of building the talent for the future. We're doing something that's never been done before. How can we work together with you and the universities and actually helping build that capability and create a center for excellence in northern Sweden? And of course, we want to capitalize on this working in a cross-industry environment where forward-leaning companies come together and help generate new products, new ideas, new services. So some of the products that we have in place already, because it's about positioning Sweden as a leader already. It's about attracting talent, it's about attracting visitors and investors already now. So one of the products that we first launched was a Northern Light flight. So the Northern Light being a natural space phenomena. We have the researchers in Kiruna that have conducted research for over 50 years about this phenomena. They give a lecture about why are the Northern Lights there, what can you expect, and why do they occur. Then we take you flying in a 12-seater aircraft. You get a front row seat and can follow the Northern Lights. And should there be clouds, because one of the conditions that you're actually able to see the Northern Lights is you need to have a clear sky. You can actually fly above them, and you can follow them as they go traveling the sky. How many of you have seen the Northern Lights? It's magic, huh? And another product where we work together with partners in France is a zero-G flight, parabolic flight. As a researcher, you seek to have zero gravity, not having the gravity of Earth impacting on your experiment. And this is a product that's been available in Europe for research for many, many years. But for the first time ever last year, there was also a license to fly private passengers. So we worked together with the French space agency Novespace to offer this to our future astronauts. And it is truly an amazing experience. And something that we're launching later this year is also Centrifuge Training. When going into space, we want you to be as relaxed as you possibly can, as prepared as you possibly can. So you know how the G-forces is going to impact your body and how you can actually train and work with your body to have the best experience possible. So we'll have a 2-day training program where you learn more theoretical and then go into the centrifuge and try it in a practical way. Something that we strongly believe in is cross-industry innovation. You know, going into space and the access to space is just going to transform life as we know it. And it's going to help us create new business opportunities on Earth. 2 years ago, we started a project called Creative Space. And what we wanted to do is basically created Do Tank, where we work together with students to come up with new innovative ideas. So if you look at space as the center, whether it's technological or philosophical, then you have a value chain in a company in various numbers of application areas. Well, traditionally, space and space technology has been used into materials and into vehicles. But what happens if you can turn that little plate around and you can apply this technology, whether it's into media or design or architecture, e-health? One of the projects is actually this flight suit that I got on. These suits are normally very Top Gun oriented, quite sort of male cut. And what we want to do is challenge that. So we want to see how can you use a smart material, smart textiles. How can you have integrated functions into this, for example? You can measure your heart rate or your pulse, or if you're nervous for your upcoming trip. There are really no limits to what we can innovate and create from this. So, and what we've also done, and this put the platform for what we're now developing in Kiruna, is a Space Experience and Technology Center. I'm going to show you an introduction to what we're looking to do. If I can get some sound.
Anywhere else in the world. A natural consequence of my courageous heritage. I am Spaceport Sweden, and Kiruna, my home in Swedish Lapland, is the heart of Europe's last great wilderness. This is the frontier, and from here, you will fly in space. I offer a trail of exploration reaching from the depths of the Earth to the edge of space, merging regional knowledge, rich cultural history, and cutting-edge technology into a full spectrum of innovative opportunity. At the Earth Sky Center, you can custom design your visit and arrange for everything from learning adventures and attractions to excursions and transportation, or prepare yourself for space travel. The Spaceport Sweden launch and aerospace complex will always offer you a way to fly. Northern Lights flights and authentic training simulators, plus innovative spaceflight companies like Virgin Galactic, X-Core, and others, provide a hands-on dynamic environment full of authentic opportunities to participate, learn, and discover. Esrange Space Center, Europe's principal rocket launch facility, is nearby, along with the Swedish Institute of Space Physics, the foremost research center in the world for the study of Northern Lights. And what adventurer wouldn't jump at the chance to travel 540 meters deep into the world's largest and most innovative underground iron mine? This portfolio of adventure will attract 145,000 explorers to Spaceport Sweden every year, stimulating economic growth in hospitality and tourism and the growing commercial space industry. I am so much more than a destination. I am a pioneer. I am an educator. I am a research and business partner. I inspire people because the most important space is created in minds and hearts. I am Spaceport Sweden, your next great adventure.
So what we're looking to do here is really capitalize on Kiruna's 100-year-old history in science. We have the mining, we have aviation, we have space, and we have tourism. And how can we create a platform and a gateway to space, but also a portal to the region, and create that cross-industry innovation? So we're at a breaking point now. We're seeing new technology being developed, access to space is increasing. We're also seeing the momentum building in Sweden to create this new opportunity. But to do that, we need you. This is about a new industry. We need to have new products, new services, and a lot of talent. So if you're ready to launch, we're ready to launch a new industry that will launch new products and services, but foremost, new careers. And we hope that you want to be part of this. We want to change the world. We're crazy enough to think we can do it, and we want you to join us. Thank you.